Hey everyone, DarkDragoon here with episode 19 of my FTB Modpack Let's Play. So today we're going to be getting started. I did a little bit of research, like I said I was going to do last episode. We're going to get into some computer craft. I know a couple people were asking for it, and I've never really done anything with it, but it's not too difficult from sort of what I've been picking up. And I think it'll really help us do some things that we otherwise can't do. So to pretty much get us started, we're going to need to get ourselves one of these computers. And you can see it's pretty simple. It's just some smooth stone here with some redstone and a glass pane. And from that, we're also going to get ourselves a chest and some iron, and I believe it is something along these lines, to get ourselves a turtle. Fun. So this episode is going to be full of quite a bit of programming. So if you guys are familiar with any of it, hopefully it won't be too dull for you. But if you're not really familiar with how to do any programming at all, hopefully this will help you. It's like I said, it's not too difficult. It's pretty basic as far as programming goes. I'm not the best programmer in the world, but hopefully I'll be able to, help you guys out and maybe do something pretty cool. So the whole point to this is that we're going to use this as a means to get our peat from our chest here. You can see we've accumulated quite a bit here. We can do a turtle to run a program to go resupply our engines over there, and we can also do a program to get this stuff upstairs. But the first thing I want to do is automate getting peat to our engines for our forestry, our peat bogs, so that they will be completely automated and we won't have to worry about them running out of peat in their engine, so they should keep running. So the other thing is I'm going to start it right here because that seems like a decent spot to start it in. And I'm going to try to do my best to actually explain what I'm doing here while I'm doing it. Obviously some of it might be a little strange. If you guys want any more detailed stuff, I'd be happy to do that. You just have to let me know. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to orient it in the right direction before we start actually writing our program, and we can do that really easily just from our little turtle OS screen, which you get by right-clicking the turtle. We're going to tell it to turn left, and you can see it turned left. So we're going to make it turn left one more time. Cool. Okay, so now you can see it is facing this way. The slot with the little, the side with the little slot in it is the side that it's facing. I always get confused because I always want to think that the other side is the front, but it's not. So now it is facing forward that way. So basically what we're going to do is we're going to write a little program to make it move out of its cubby, turn toward this chest, and grab some peat. And I'm going to do this one step at a time. Basically, you can see if you type in, if we just type in programs, we'll be able to see what the programs in the turtle are. You can see there's quite a few, and some of these I know what they do, some of them I have no idea what they do yet. Obviously, like I said, I'm still very, very much learning this. The first thing I want to do is turtles are not completely free. They do need to run off some kind of fuel. So I'm going to put some coal coke in its inventory here. You can see it's definitely got an inventory. And I'm just going to tell it to run the refuel all command. And it will eat all of our coal coke, and it will fill it to a fuel level of 24,576. So should be plenty of fuel to keep it going for some time. We can definitely check on that later to see, once we have our program completely running, to see exactly how much fuel it's using every time it runs it. But that said, guys will have to excuse me. I'm still a little bit sick, so I'm going to be clearing my throat a lot, and I'm going to try not to cough. I'm sucking on a cough drop. So anyway, so basically what we want to do is I want to show you guys. It basically has a lot of APIs it runs off of, and we can look at the turtle APIs. I'm going to be using some of them. Help turtle, I had that backwards. There you go, you can see there's quite a few. Each of these functions are basically things we're going to be calling to tell it to do certain things. Like turtle forward will tell it to move forward, turtle back will tell it to go back, etc. A lot of these are self-explanatory, some of them are a little knot, but we're not going to necessarily need all of them. Things like dig we won't be worrying about, but definitely a cool function if you want to have a turtle do some digging for you. It can certainly do that if you give it a mining pick. You can also have it place down blocks, so you can definitely have turtles automatically build things for you, which is pretty cool. So yeah, so lots of cool things that turtles can do, and we're going to mostly be using some of these functions to suck up items and to drop items. So yeah, so that said, let's go ahead and clear that out, and we're going to make a new program. We're going to call it Refuel Peat Engines. Okay, and that will open us up into a brand new program. So basically the way this works is we're just going to basically tell it to do commands one at a time until it's done. So obviously the first thing we want it to do is we want it to go turtle.forward, and we'll go ahead and save, and I'll show you guys. Okay, it's saved. We have our program, so now we just go refuel Peat Engines, and boom, it moves forward. So it's pretty simple. So you can probably guess the next couple things I'm going to want it to do. I'm going to do a couple lines of code. I'm going to move it back. So let's see, back. Now I forget how to do this. Oh, go back. 1. There we go. How to go backwards 1. So go back into our, just so you guys, I just wanted to show you guys sort of one line at a time there, just so you can see exactly what's going on and how it works. So now that we have it going forward, we're going to then tell it to go turtle dot turn, sorry to think about exactly what the command was, turn right. And then we're going to tell it turtle dot suck. And what that should do is it should pull a single stack of items out of the chest and put it into its inventory. And then once we've had it do that, I'm going to pop out just so I can do, so it should be facing this way. We're going to have it go up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks. Let me think about this. I'm a little worried that the torches will be in the way here, so I'm going to move them. I'm actually not sure if torches block the turtle movement. I kind of think they probably do. So we'll just fix that, and I definitely want to dig this out so the turtle can move along this path. There we go. Yeah, that's fine. Okay. So I'm going to move back, and I'm going to throw this torch back up on the wall. Okay, so yeah, so we're going to have it move up, basically up against the ceiling here. So it'll be here, so it needs to go 1, 2, 3, 4 squares. So once it's gotten that, we're going to tell it, let's see, I'm trying to remember the command. It's just turtle up, but we're going to have it, instead of, normally we could just type in turtle.up, and we can do that 4 times. We can just keep on doing it. Or what we could do is we can create something called a loop, and basically to do that you can set I can be anything. It's just a variable basically, and we're going to start it at 1 because basically its initial position is 1, and then we're going to tell it its final position is 4, and then we're going to tell it to do the next line. So basically it's going to go up 4 times. There we go. And after that, we have to hit end. That is the wrong set of numbers. Okay, numbers. Oh god, that was letters. Yeah, my brain is sort of addled today, so bear with me a little bit. So right now, basically what we have it doing is it'll move forward out of its cubby, it'll turn right, it'll pull items out of the chest, and then it'll fly up into the air. Don't worry, turtles can fly. That's okay. So it's going to be facing this way. So the next thing we want to do is to turn right, and then move forward, and then turn left. So dot turn right, turtle dot forward. I'm sure this code could probably be a bit more elegant, but like I said, I'm pretty new to this, so it'll just have to not be super elegant. Okay, so at this point it should be up near the ceiling in this row and facing that way, which is cool. Now we just need to, and it should be here. So now we just need to count exactly how far it needs to go. So I'm going to do that off camera so you guys aren't watching me count squares for a couple of minutes, and I'll be back. Okay, I counted and it should be about 51. Sorry about that, I had to adjust my headset. Should be about 51. I might have miscounted one or two, but we'll figure that out here in a little bit. So why don't we go ahead and run what we've got and make sure it's all working. And you guys can see basically I just made another loop so that it goes again for when I equals 1, which means its initial position. You're going to issue this command 51 times, making it go forward 51 squares. So yeah, let's save, and then we'll exit, and then we'll go refuel heat engines. Cannot type today. So it'll go up. Should have pulled out a stack, which it did. Cool. And you can see it's moving right along this path. Nothing should be in its way. I'm just going to move right down here. It's very, very nice that we actually had this path going through here, and definitely it's not going to interfere with the railcart chest. That should get it into this position. Cool. Which is exactly where we want it to be. So then we're going to tell it to move up to, and we can probably, it probably would be a good idea to put a loop in here to make it do it twice, but since it's only twice, I'm just going to tell it turtle, I don't want it to be, there we go, turtle dot up, and I'm going to tell it to I'm going to type that command in twice, because like I said, I could do a loop, but it just needs to go up twice, so it's not really that big of a deal. Okay, and once it's up, we're going to tell it turtle dot drop, and we want it to drop up, I believe that's right, yeah, we want it to drop up, that way it'll put it in the engine above it, and we're going to tell it 16, because we're going to basically try to split this stack up. I'm not sure why it picked up that cobblestone. We're basically going to tell it, we have 4 engines we're going to supply with this system, so by the time it gets to all 4 engines, it's going to be out of its peat that it picked up. So it's going to drop 16, then it's going to go turtle dot forward, and then it's going to again turtle dot drop 16, drop up 16. Okay, so cool. Okay, and so that should put it, let's see, yeah, so basically it'll go up twice, drop 16 in this engine, move forward, drop 16 in this engine. So then we're going to make it go down 2 again. So turtle dot down, and we're going to do that command twice. Again, I could loop it, but it seems sort of silly to, to make 3 lines of code for when you can do 2 lines of code. So at this point it should be here, and then we're going to tell it to, we're going to have a little bit of problem here. Actually, I kind of think once it gets to here, maybe we just want it to drop into this row. So let's actually get rid of one of these downs. Okay, and so that should put it right here. And then we're going to tell it to go forward 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So we're going to make a loop. So for I equals 1, 6, do turtle dot forward end. Cool. And I'm gonna just separate that. I keep wanting to click on this screen. It's habit, I think. I believe the advanced computers can do that, but not the basic ones. So at this point, it should basically be lined up right here, and we're going to have to get it around this pipe, which we can do pretty easily with some simple turning it and moving it. And I'm going to do that off camera until we're positioned here. So yeah, what I'm going to do is I'm going to code it so that it can go basically turn around this pipe and move around this pipe until it's here, and then I'll reset it back to its original position, and when I come back I'll run what we have so far so that it gets to here, and I'll show you guys how it runs up to that point. So I'll be back in a minute. Alright, I'm back, and the turtle is back in its little cubby. So what we're going to do is, you can see it took me a little bit to get it back here. I'm going to go ahead and clear our screen, and then I'm going to tell it refuel Pete engines. And there it goes. It'll pull it out, go up, run all the way down here. That's probably why it pulled in a bit of cobble there randomly. It does attach that pipe. It's a little bit of a problem, but I'm not going to worry about it too much. Okay, so it should stop, go up. We should be able to see. Well, that's a little bit of an issue. Apparently, it will try to put it into. Alright, we're going to have to completely rethink this now, because apparently if you try to put the peat in the bottom, it's going to go into our ash section. I did test this in a test world, and it will go in the back side of it. So, okay. So give me a second to rethink this programming, and I'll be back. Okay, so I'm back. I've pretty much got myself a new plan, and it's going to fix the issue of it connecting to those pipes too. Basically, we're going to make our turtle go outside, and so basically what's going to happen, I'm trying to decide if we still want it to sit in this cubby or if we want it just to land right on top of the chest. I'm kind of worried that if it just sits here on the chest that it'll try pulling things out of, well, it shouldn't. Yeah, I don't think it will. So we're just going to start off with a turtle.suck down, and we're just going to tell it to basically pull up stack, and then we're going to tell it you're going to go 1, 2, 3 up. So for I equals 1, 3, do our turtle dot up. Okay, and then that should end, and then so that should put it up against the ceiling. We're going to tell it to go forward. Let's see, 1, 2, 3. So for I equals 1, 3, do turtle dot forward, end. So you guys should be able to see sort of at least how this sort of works in theory. Is this point it should get it into this little hole that I dug. Obviously this will be a little more closed up once it really just needs a little way out, but so that should put it right here, and then it's going to need to go up 1, 2, 3. Why don't we send it up a good distance? We're going to need to send it up probably 15, so it'll clear that building that we built. So actually, let me jump off camera and let me actually count it to see exactly how high it needs to go, and I'll be back. Okay, I'm back, and I did a little bit of counting, and so we're basically going to have it go for I equals 1. 15 should do it. Do turtle dot up. Okay, end. Alright, and from there it should be something sort of similar, because the math should wind up the same. So for I equals 1, 51, do. Actually, we're probably going to need to, let me think about this a second. I'll probably have to, because it'll go out and then it'll go up. So between the time where we have it go up and when we have it go forward, we need to tell it to turtle dot turn left. That way it'll face the right direction. And that should, let's go ahead and run this, and I want to sort of separate our code a little bit so it's a little easier to read. There's lots of loops in here since we're doing it quite a bit differently. So yeah, so let's go ahead and save and test our program, because I like to test this stuff out. Go. Okay, you definitely saw it pulled some stuff. It's going outside. And oh, we're gonna have to, by the time we get out there, it should be somewhere over by our Pete engines. Actually, let me clip the video and I'll be right back after I've slept through the night. Alright, I'm back. I'm up on the roof and you can see our turtle is over there. It has made it. Getting over to it is going to be an interesting little trick. Do I have enough? I have enough dirt to get myself over to it. Could probably knock down some of the scaffolding too. That would probably be better, right? Let's use axe. The good news is that seemed to get it over to where we need it to be. You can definitely see our peat bogs are having a little bit of trouble because they are out of peat. So let me just get my way up to our turtle here. Oh, gets stuck in a scaffold apparently. There we go. Alright, so looks like it's a little bit further than it should be. Let's go ahead and tell it to edit refuel Pete engines. Go ahead and add, obviously we can adjust the numbers after we've sort of figured out what needs to happen, but for I equals 1, we'll go 15 do turtle dot down end. So we'll go ahead and save that and we'll exit, and then I'm just going to tell it to go down 15. That should manually do it. Okay, so now we have a little bit of an issue, and it means probably that we're going to have to move our levers away. So yeah, we're going to have it go, only have it go 50. So let's go ahead and do that. Why are you stuck? Because it still wants to go down. Apparently I can't stop it from executing its last thing. So we're just going to have to, okay, tell it to go up 3. Okay, cool. Turtles are not as simple as I was expecting them to be. They're a little bit trial and error-y, but that's okay. Like I said, I am not the most masterful of programmers. There is definitely a reason why I gave that up in school. I'm not the worst, but I'm also far from the best. So, alright, so there's one other number I want to adjust here, obviously. Edit refuel Pete engines. Let's try not to capitalize the N in engines. I want to change our 51 here to a 50, not a 501. That would make it go all over the place. That way it would end up here instead of where it is right now. So let's go ahead and save and we'll exit, and I want it to go back 1. So now it's in the position it should be when it runs its program up to this point. So Give me a second here. I need probably to get another cough drop, and definitely can feel a cough coming on. I don't want to cough at you guys, so I'll be back. Okay, I'm back. And so yeah, so we're going to go back to our refuel Pete engines. Okay, we're going to go down to our line of code, and we're going to tell it to turtle.turn left, capital L. Then we're going to tell it turtle.forward. Then we're going to tell it turtle.drop 16. And then turtle.turn right. Turtle.forward. No asterisks. Pretty simple. You guys can probably see what I'm doing here. Okay. And then I'm looking at this. I'm kind of wondering if this could be a loop. So let me think here a second. Because it's going left, forward, drop right. No, because then it's going forward, left, drop right. Yeah, so I don't think... Yeah, it's not really going to be good for a loop, I don't think. It might be good for another bit of programming, but yeah. So that'll make it go up so it can clear our... So at this point it has turned left, gone here, dropped some items in here, turned again, moved here, dropped some items and turned again, and then it's going to go up one. And then we're going to have it go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 forward. So that can be a loop. For I equals 1, 14 do turtle dot forward end, and then turtle dot down, as it needs to go down a square again. And then it's going to go again, do this whole bit. So this is all pretty much, should be pretty easy to know sort of the order at this point. Like I said, not the most elegant of code, but I think it'll work. And we'll find out when I'm done. I think the last thing we're going to do is have it turn left again. And the reason I'm doing it, having it turn left again, is because after this, we're going to have to code its whole process of going home. So let me go ahead and save this, exit, and then I'm going to send it home on pretty much manually, and I'll be back as soon as we're going to test it again. Okay, we are back. It took quite a bit of doing to get her back here, but the turtle is home, and we definitely want to make sure, I'm going to mark, it's definitely always needing to be facing the wall. I need to remember that. So, we're going to clear it, and then we're going to tell it refuel heat engines. And there it goes. And of course, it is becoming night again, just my luck. Let's sleep real quick and then I'll be back. Okay, I'm back, jumping off my wall here. And it looks like we just made it back to where it is. It definitely did drop off some peat in the right slot. Oop. And obviously it couldn't, I don't think it could move down. I want to make sure that we did have that command in there, just to be sure. It did have it. Should have moved down, but obviously because our levers were in the way, it couldn't. So we'll just move those now. But so long as it's moving down, it should be in the right spot. So go down one. So this is where it should end up. And so from here, it's pretty much just a small matter of programming it to go backwards. And what we could do is we could just have it go underground and basically cycle back that direction. Probably be a lot easier. Yeah, I think I'll probably do that off camera since it's pretty much just, I think, a basic move command, which hopefully you guys have figured out how it works pretty easily. So yeah, I think this system is, the cool thing about this system is you can easily add on to it. Like we can easily extend this system to go, hey, also bring some Pete over here, which would probably be a good idea. But yeah, it can do a lot of things. I really like these turtles. They're just, they're very interesting. And I mean, obviously they're very programmy heavy, but once you get good at them, I think they can do a lot of things that normally you would do with pipes. And they're really cool. So let me do this off camera and I'll figure out where we are and what we're going to do next. Alright, I'm back and we're pretty close to that 30-minute mark. So what I'm going to do is, you can see I made myself a quick way out of here. We're going to run our program, see if it works, and it should be pretty much in working order. Just it might have a few glitches in it that we can iron out later, but I definitely want to show you guys sort of it working in full. And before I do that, I'm going to make sure to sleep before we get the turtle moving, because again, it's almost night. You can definitely tell that obviously getting this thing back here manually was sort of the longest part of the whole process, but we've already programmed in a way to get all that stuff back manually, so it should be working now by itself. So let's get downstairs, we'll run our program, see how it's looking, and go from there. It should work, I think. The only thing that I think could have gone wrong is maybe a miscalculation on distance, but other than that, let's clear out our thing here and run refuel Pete engines. And just to be safe, we should have plenty in here, but there we go. Alright, go. So pulled out a stack and it's going up. And we're going to try to beat it up here. Yep, there it is in the sky. See, it has cleared the building and is going over it. There it is again. I'm trying to keep my eye on it so you guys can see it. It's cool how they can fly. I mean, they're basically little robots, so why not, right? Okay, should be going down. Should line up with our Pete engine here. Turn. Deposit. Okay. Go down. Deposit. Deposit. Then it should go down here. And it's in line. This is actually looking pretty promising. Not bad for my first ComputerCraft turtle, right? And this is seriously the first turtle I've ever programmed, so probably why it's a little messy for those of you who might be more familiar with it than I am. You might be screaming at me, no, you can do it so much easier, but I know. This is my first turtle, give me a break. I think it's cool. And it works. It is even turning the right direction, so not a single glitch in our system. Cool. Well, I think we made a lot of progress this episode. That was really cool. Turtles are awesome. It is official. I love turtles. Anyway, so like I said, unfortunately we're pretty much at that 30-minute mark, so this is where we're going to have to call this episode. Thank you guys for watching. This has been episode 19 of DarkDragoon's Feed the Beast Modpack Let's Play. Hope you guys enjoyed and figure out some more about turtles because they're awesome. Anyway, catch you guys later.